What's going on? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're going to talk to you about the top 5 short squeeze stocks that you need to add to your watch list ASAP. Before we get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. And with that, let's get right to it. So starting off, as far as data points, CPI, with that now behind us and the market kind of pricing it in, we can essentially move forward. Even though CPI didn't come in as expected, people saw and looked past it at the true data and realized a lot of this information for face value wasn't really accurate. So with tomorrow having down the pipeline PPI, if better than anticipated, you could see the market move to the next leg up. So potentially any stock that is heavily shorted might put shorts in a difficult scenario. So even more reason why you need to add these stocks to your watch list. So without further ado, let's get right to it. So starting off with stock number 5, Gorilla Technology, ticker GRRR, sitting at $24.20 over the last 1 year, up 150.78%. So absolutely crazy run. Even though over the last 1 month, up 95.53% alone. This is what they do, so feel free to pause it, go through it. This is the company profile, but we are here because of this. So I don't always just choose the most heavily shorted stocks. For those of you that have been watching this type of video of mine, you'd know that a lot of them do continue their run massively. So even though you might not see a mother of all short squeeze kind of scenarios, the combination behind the scenes with the presence of shorts, recent momentum, and everything combined makes for a even better investment play. So again, something to keep in mind, but short score, higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening is 76.15, utilization 72.82, and right now 11.42% of the free float is being shorted. That works out to be 1.22 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 40.34. That is a annual rate, not a daily rate. And then finally, just going over here through IBKR does indicate roughly around 300,000 shares is available to be shorted. Reason why I bring that up is typically a lot of stocks that have somewhat low availability. You might see some corresponding buying coming from big names such as BlackRock, Vanguard, as essentially they like to buy stocks just to lend out. Very profitable business for them. So again, that is why I bring it up. But nonetheless, this is stock number 5. Moving on to stock number 4, that is ticker MSPR, so MSP Recovery, currently sitting at $2.77. Over the last 1 year, it is down 85.59, but over the last 1 month, definitely gaining some pretty good traction, up 34.47%. This is what they do. So healthcare services, 88 employees, based out of Florida in the US, but right now, 9.64% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 175,000 shares. So this is kind of what the market does generally like to really move and squeeze, is somewhat heavily shorted and low float. So again, this kind of meets that criteria. Cost to borrow average is 129.43%. Short score is 76.5. Shorts have been very reactive recently with the price increasing. So as you can kind of see, shorts did really double down. So they went from around 4% short interest to a peak of 14.26. So again, even though you're not seeing like 60% short interest or above, the circumstances behind this definitely are very, very unique. And then aside from that though, one thing I just wanted to bring up, so there was a update, so 2 times per month the actual exchanges, so NASDAQ does disclose the true amount of shares being shorted. So based on yesterday's report, shorts did increase between January the 15th and January the 31st, 27.24%. So again, something I just wanted to kind of bring up. Moving on from here though, stock number 3, ticker is BBAI, very popular one, and so it did just hit a new 52-week high that was done on Wednesday, closing at $9.74. I did post this one as well on my Patreon as a good buying signal, went over good buying areas, potential exits, and definitely this is a winner with still a lot more room to essentially go up. In case you don't know who or what they are, this is the company profile. So again, pause it and read through it. But 20.68% of the free float is being shorted, works out to be 37.62 million shares overall are being shorted. Shorts did return a little bit on Wednesday. 1.74 million shares, cost to borrow average 18.06, and then utilization 100%. This stock definitely has been a head scratcher, only because despite the recent price performance, so again, it's been doing absolutely amazing over the last 1 year, up 396%. Over the last 1 month alone, up 218%. Despite that though, shorts have not been doing anything. They've been maintaining roughly around that 21% range, which is very, very odd. So again, shorts are like only have so much money, so potentially this is where you could see a nice pop associated to shorts kind of returning some shares. But aside from that, 40,000 shares is available to be shorted, so you could see some corresponding buying going into the next couple of trading days. Moving on to stock number 2, so you have ticker AIFF sitting at $12.97, did go up 54% on Friday. So absolutely amazing run over the last 1 year, up 57.76. And this is what they do. So healthcare technology, 7 employees based out of good old Toronto, Canada. And right now, 62.12% of the free float is being shorted. Works out to be 1.53 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 638%. Short score, so the higher the number, the higher the likelihood of a squeeze happening, is 80.26. So very, very interesting stock. Even more so the fact that there's only 20,000 shares available to be shorted. So you could see some buying as big names will want to take advantage of this very juicy cost to borrow. So this is stock number 2. And finally, last but not least, moving on to stock number 1, ticker MGOL. So it did go down 23% on Wednesday, after hours kind of pushing up 41%. So closing at 46.64 after hours. Over the last 1 year, it is down 87.83%. Over the last 1 month, down 15, and then over the last 5 days, definitely gaining some pretty good traction, up 24%. This is what they do, so feel free again to pause it, based out of Florida in the US. But this is where things get very interesting. So short score is 80.59, utilization 68.75. Just to go over here for one quick thing. So as you can kind of see, they did have a reverse stock split July the 18th. The reason why I'm bringing this up is typically if a stock, for instance, does a reverse stock split, it skews Ortex like for roughly around 2 weeks. But they haven't done a recent reverse stock split, but it still does show 928% of the free float is being shorted. So definitely some interesting stuff is going on. Works out to be 5.82 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average 263%. Again, that is a annual rate, not a daily rate. And then through IBKR does indicate roughly around 10,000 shares is available to be shorted. So very, very unique circumstance with all of these stocks. So let me know, do you own any of them? Are you selling any of them? What's your general thoughts? And as well, if there's any other squeeze plays out there, throw some tickers in the description below. And one final thing, pop over to my Patreon if you are looking for good buy signals on stocks, options, and crypto. Many of them have been absolutely on point and bangers. Definitely pop over there and take a look. Link in the description below and also the comments. With all that said, appreciate all of you watching.